Good morning, Mimi Kelly here. Sort of from my creative space, sort of not, but I just felt like I needed to come here. I'm going to be reading from some notes. I'm going to be talking off the top of my head. But first, let me start with my notes. Where are my notes? Okay, here we go. The title of this shout out would be Dignity. Okay, dignity and being well. And the first thing I need to say before I get to that is thank you, thank you, thank you to all the Tubi viewers. Oh my God. You have shared One Night in LA, and I've tried to go to each and every single page that shared it to say thank you, thank you, thank you, because that's how the word is going to get out about it. So I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I wrote it for the people, okay? I didn't write it for Hollywood. I didn't know what was going to become of it. And I am so pleased how Tubi is treating it, how they placed it. I'm pleased with the commercials they have in it. I'm just I'm just grateful from the bottom of my heart. And so I'm thank you. I just want to say that to my friends and family who have received it. Your silence is awfully loud. I need you to just do on automatic pilot, even if you don't like it. I know it's an experimental movie. I know it's got some things that will make you not feel good. That's okay. What I need you to do, if you love me as your sister friend or your niece or your cousin or whoever you are, please watch it. Please comment, do a thumbs up, and please share it. Just do it on automatic. Just don't even think about me. Just do it. Okay, please. So please catch up with the Tubi voters because they've given Sister some love. This week has just been amazing for me. God knew He had a divine plan that I wasn't aware of, that it would be more meaningful if One Night in LA came out during Christmas because that's my favorite season. You see my little tree? It ain't all perfect. I need to pay somebody to decorate it, but that's okay. I'm a minimalist. I like simplicity, and there's my simple tree. So anyway, uh, God knew that bringing it out at Christmas time would have great meaning for me. And so I'm so grateful for that. My mom's services when she passed were in December, and I remember thinking, at first, I was upset that she passed during the holidays, um, and that I was having her funeral. But as I was driving, back and forth from Atlanta airport, I was looking at lights and hearing the Christmas music. I realized God knew. If you're gonna really rip her heart apart, do it during Christmas, okay? Because my big mama and my mom always stood strong during Christmas time, and you felt their love and you felt the warmth of our family during Christmas. So, oh, thank you, Tubi. What else? Okay, let me look at my notes. Let me look at my notes. But then something unexpected happened. I saw the Queen, Nikki Giovanni, passed. And I tell you, it took me back, it catapulted me back to the beginning of my literary journey, where I was called, literally called people. I had no idea I was supposed to be a writer and I was supposed to write books and plays and now a film. I was clueless, but God knew. And He set me down and He said, right. And the first thing I wrote was this, a novel. On Edge. This is all scratched up because I was in a car accident and it was in the back of the car. That's a whole different story. But I wrote On Edge. I wrote Wings to Fly, which is also a play. And both books are in One Night in LA. And the reason both books are in One Night in LA is because James Baldwin's estate just wouldn't cooperate. Okay. There's a featured poem by Langston Hughs. I'm so grateful to them. But James Baldwin's estate, I couldn't get. them to respond to me. And so I said, forget it. I'm going to think myself. I'm going to make myself um, the center of this story, and I'm going to use my own books. And so that's what I did. I used my own books and my own thoughts. Although anything you've ever read, heard, seen becomes a part of you as you're writing. So it was all inspired by the writings that I had read by James Baldwin and Langston Hughs and Toni, Cade, Bambara, and my sister, my Sora, Nikki Giovanni. So her death took me back to the beginning of my literary um, beginning. And why are you hearing this? Because there are gatekeepers who have this man-made hierarchy where they are picking winners and losers. And it takes a lot of work to overcome those gatekeepers. And because I have such a beautiful family, you see that high chair in the back? I got two new babies, grandbabies. I just haven't wanted to fight that hierarchy. But I knew God would always make a way, and here we are. So we're here. A little late, but we're here. Because I wrote Wings to Fly. Oh my God. I'm not gonna date myself, y'all, but it's been a long, long journey. Decades, okay? Decades. Last night I went to a holiday party and I had to go by the theater where I did my first play. It's been 18 years since I did my first play, Shout, okay? Which was inspired by this book, Wings to Fly. Shout out above life storms. I have wings to fly. Um, Anyway, all the books, only buy them on my website. You can go to onenightinlamovie.com. It will lead you to the store or the books page. You can go to mimikelly.com. It will lead you to the books and the website, and it all converges together on the website elevatedstories.me. So if you see elevatedstories.me, don't be concerned. It's all the same. Okay? So only buy the books for me. That's a whole different Zoom recording. We'll talk about that at another time. But back to the gatekeepers and why I'm calling this dignity. Because I was, oh God, I'm having a hard time. Y'all forgive me. Anyway, um, I was in, I was sitting in my car on Crenshaw one day, waiting to go into the Obama campaign office. And there had been a slip up and I had been given the wrong address. And I was sitting there grumpy, sort of personalizing it when I know it's just human error. But luckily, I had a book with me that oh shoot, I turned the page, that my daughter-in-love, Courtney Kelly, had given me. And so when I was sitting there with a foul attitude, I went to this first chapter, which is called Dignity. And I'm going to read a paragraph for you. It says, I don't know what dignity is. I'll put it in front of me. So look at I don't know what dignity is, not cognitively, but I know what it feels like to be loved, to receive honor, to be encountered as a human, not because of any demonstration or performance of such, but because in mystery, your very being is a miracle, your existence, a delicate stitch in the cosmos. Dignity will never depend on anyone's belief in it, certainly not your own. It is not born of writing, even excellent writing, or excellent research, or beautiful architecture, or good parenting. And I'll add, it's not dependent upon me doing a movie or creating a television show or writing a really good script. It is inherent. Gatekeepers trying to take away our dignity. If I never write another word, my dignity cannot be diminished. And yet, here we come with the gatekeepers. The world has a choice. to honor or not honor. The toll this choice takes has very real implications on our rights, our wealth, our justice, our children, and even our perceptions of dignity, but never dignity itself. And so all of that ties into being a writer, having a voice, having to fight, you know, not fight, but having to go up against energy and forces that tell me that my voice isn't valid, that I don't deserve a place to share my stories. And so I'm not quite sure how all this goes together, but hopefully it's making sense, y'all, okay? Because I got to finish this. So anyway, you know what I want to say is that Black, white, Latino, Asian, Republican, and Democrat deserve to be treated with dignity. We all do. And we can do it, you guys. We can do it. Americans used to revere and honor each other, but no more. And so we got to go back to being dignified with each other and respectful of each other, regardless of, our political camps, our race, our color, our income bracket, all of that stuff. We just got to treat people with dignity, okay? Dignity. And finally, what I want to say, and this leads me to One Night in LA. That's what I'm here for. One Night in LA movie on Tubi. Ooh. This leads me finally to a passage that inspired me to write the story. And I sort of forgotten about it until Queen Giovanni passed. Okay, Nikki Giovanni. That's a name, ain't it? Oof. Like she was born to do what she did. She was. She was called. She was born. I love that name. But what I want to say, and I'm just going to read it. Finally, not being treated with dignity causes Black women to not be well. It can cause anyone who is not treated in a dignified way to not be well. But because I'm a Black woman, I'm focusing on Black women. It hurts. I left a text thread this morning of 11 women who refused to acknowledge One Night in LA. I put it up. There was silence. There was not, hi, thanks for sharing it. We got it. Click anything. It's not that I'm needy, but I do want to be treated in a dignified, respectful way. That same thread, they were then began to celebrate one of the people on the thread's birthday. And I was like, this doesn't feel good. And so I left the thread. So, because I have decided that I will not accept undignified treatment for the rest of my days. If you are in my circle, you will treat me in a dignified way with respect. Okay? That's it. And so, and that includes folks in Hollywood. Yeah, you know, um, because nothing is worth my dignity. So there's this book, Salt Eaters, that I had to read in my African literature class when I was working on my MFA. And Salt Eaters is about the healing of Velma, who was a left-wing activist in her community. And there becomes all these factions within the group. And so she suffers a mental health challenge as a result of trying to maneuver all of these factions. And so Toni Cade Bambara wrote the book. And in one paragraph, it says this. Okay, I don't have that book, Salt Eaters, but in one paragraph, it says, um, and this is someone who is helping Velma regain her mental health, one of the community members. And so the passage says, are you sure, sweetheart, that you want to be well? Just so you're sure, sweetheart, and ready to be healed, because wholeness is no trifling matter. A lot of weight when you're well. And so that passage had me thinking about a character who is trying to get well. And I covered it up with cancer. Um, but that's what One Night in LA is about. It's about answering that question. Do you want to be well? How are you going to make yourself well? And that's the journey that the character in One Night in LA goes through. Ooh, that was deep. That's because us writers were deeper than deep. We go around and around to get to the truth. But that said, I love you so much. Happy holidays. Thank you if you have if you watch One Night in LA, if you checked a thumbs up, if you shared it. Oh my God, I love you. Um, because we don't have a big, publicity campaign, any of that. It will just be shared because you shared it. Okay. God bless you. I think that's it. I think that's it. I did it. I love you. Bye bye.